Okay. All right, we're live. So today we are gonna go over a lick in the book, lick number 24, and then I'm gonna talk about a concept that I kind of was thinking about that has to do with that lick. So we'll start with the lick. There were no questions last week, so just a reminder if you guys have any questions about anything or you want to ask any, like have any suggestions, I mean, feel free to leave anything in the comments below, and I'll get to it, and we can chat about that, and I can address it at the beginning of the next live session. So I will start with the lick, and then I will kind of explain what's going on with the lick, and then I'm going to go into the concept behind it that can get you hearing flat nines and flat 13s a lot easier on dominant chords. All right, I got my horn. All right, so the lick is a quick 2/5, and it's just an eighth note line, and yeah, let me play it for you, and I'll just play it pretty straight, and then you can kind of hear it, and then I'll break it down. All right, so here we go. Right, so one, two, right, pretty straightforward. It's more of a sound, and kind of you can it would be a really nice voice leading kind of um that's what I was thinking about with the voice leading here with um excuse me, I can't talk today, with half step resolutions, and then using that interesting sound, right, of the 5 chord. So all I'm doing here is I'm playing 3 5 7 9 on the minor chord, which makes, and I forgot to mention this. Sorry, I guess my brain might not be working this morning. Uh, this is in C concert, so D minor 7 to G7 to C major. So I'm playing 3 5 7 9, and that's going to be a major seventh because we're starting on the 3 on a minor chord. We're making a major seventh. So that's 3 5 7 9, right? Then I'm resolving down a half step, and this is going to be hitting the, so, right? So that is actually the flat 9 of the 5 chord. Then I'm jumping up to the 3. So that's what this sounds like. And then we're going down to the flat 13. That's the flat 13 of the 5 chord. And then we resolve back up to the 3 of the major. So this is what the 5, I'm going to play the 5 to the 1 here. And I'm just resolving. That's 3 1 5 4 3. Okay. So what's actually going on there? Like if we break this down to really hear this, and how can we remember this? My hair's a little crazy today. So I wrote some things down for you guys to think about that will help you get this concept into your ears, because we don't necessarily want to be thinking, oh, I want to think this, but I want to hear it. You do want to definitely hear it. So let me grab the whiteboard here. So like I said, and the 2 chord is pretty straightforward, 3 5 7 9. But if we just kept it as a triad, 1 3 5, we have the minor triad there. So we're thinking this. All right, so we have G7, which is the 5 chord in this scenario. But really what you can think is A flat minor triad, just A flat minor triad. So you're only thinking 3 notes. And that gives you the A flat. It gives you the third, um, which the minor third of A flat. I know this should be C flat, but I wrote it this way for a reason, because it's the third of G, and then E flat. And as you can see, I put little identifiers here. So the A flat is the flat 9 of G, the B is the third of G, and the E flat is the flat 13 of G. So these are all really, really colorful notes, they create a lot of tension. And it's a really easy way to access these 3 notes, these 3 colors, and still identify with this chord. So if you think about it, like any dominant chord. This doesn't have to be for a 2/5. It can be any dominant chord that you want to express these colors and get this sound out of it. You can use this trick. You think of a dominant chord, you think up a half step in minor. So if we did this for, let's say we did it for, let's just play a game here. If we did it for D7, so if we did it with D7, we would think up a half step, right? So up a half step from D is E flat, and then we think of E flat minor. So we have E flat, and then the minor third of E flat is G flat or F sharp, which ends up being the third of D, and then you go up to B flat, which B flat is the flat 13 of D. So E flat is going to be the flat 9 of D, F sharp or G flat is the third of D, and then B flat is the flat 13 of D. And that allows you to access, yeah, Julian, no worries. Yeah, you're welcome. It's a really cool sound. And now I want to kind of show you a little bit how to explore this in a simple way. I know that we get in the practice room. I know I'm super guilty of this. I get in the practice room and I just want to kind of shed stuff, but I really want to explore this a little bit differently, and show you an easy way to explore this to get the sound into your ears, because we want to make this a part of us, and we want to make this sound something that we're hearing naturally. So I'm gonna play simple stuff, and kind of explain that as I go. And when I do this, I like to not use a metronome. I like to kind of just allow myself to explore without having too many. I'm already restricting myself enough. So if I put like a time on it and make it too complicated, then it ends up being a lot more difficult for my brain to process. So however you guys like to explore, you might find that out. But for me, it's like if I take certain elements out of it and make it really restricted, then it helps me a lot more with digesting this info. So we're going to use the original key that we were in. So we're in C concert. So on tenor, that's going to be D minor, then to A7, and then to uh, did I say D minor? I meant E minor. E minor to A7 to D major. So concert key were D minor, G7 to C major. So let's just take just the triad, since remember we're just using the minor triad of a half step up from the dominant chord. So here's how I would explore that. So I would play, here's the 2 minor chord. So I'm just playing 1 3 5, and then I'm playing 1 again up top. Now I'm just going to play the minor triad over the dominant chord and explore that. So for me, that's going to be B flat minor in my key. So I'm going to go up E minor, then I'm going to come down B flat minor, right? And then I'll resolve. Uh, right, and then you can add an ending to it if you want. So right, so that's clearly resolving. It's you got the 2, you have a tension of the 5, and then you're resolving. So I'm just gonna play around a little bit and kind of show you what you can do, but I'm only gonna use the triads. So I can only use 1 3 5 of the 2. I can use my substitution minor, and that's all I can do. So let me just mess around a little bit. Maybe you guys will pick up on what I'm doing, but I'm just going to mess around with different inversions. I'm going to mess around with how I resolve it, and just to give you an idea of how you can shed this. Okay, so let's try this one. Uh, right. So that was okay. I didn't like love that, but it was correct. I mean, I stuck with my restrictions. So I'll just mess around some more. Um, right? I like that one. That was kind of cool. Uh, so kind of a similar idea. I'm just kind of using different inversions, jumping around a little bit, um, and we can kind of go from there. So maybe we start descending this time. Sorry. Right. So that I cheated. I used a note that was kind of a guiding tone there at the end, but that was promising. So you can mess around with the endings, and I'm literally just playing playing certain things of and trying to show you how to mix and match these things and get that sound in your ear. um, because that's what we want to do. Ultimately, the goal is to get the sound into our ears, allow us to have that sound accessible, like the flat 9, the flat 13 sound. And if you break it down to this simple minor triad, a half step up from the dominant, you access those sounds, and you can get them into your ear more easily. When we're improvising, we don't want to be thinking about that. The goal is to be able to hear it and understand it and feel it while we're playing, and then it will come naturally. So, but sometimes, at least for me, I need to be in the practice room practicing this stuff like this in order to make it come out naturally, and for me to just be able to hear those sounds when I'm shedding, or when I'm playing in a jam session or a gig or whatever. So, um, yeah, explore that. This concept is can be really, really powerful, and you can do a ton of different variations. I mean, we only used 6 notes, right? We used the 1 3 5 of the minor, we used the 1 3 5 of the minor half step up from the dominant, and then we resolved it. So in that one bar, we're just using 6 notes. So you can get really creative with those. You can space it out. Let me see if I can do like a real spacey one. Um, I might play it a little slower, but yeah, like what if I did like super space all the way up the horn and come back down, right? And see what happens. So, let's see. Uh, oh, let's see. Okay, okay, I got something. Right? I mean, that's kind of just craziness. Like, but I'm just trying to make big leaps like that. And I don't play like that normally. So I mean, I'm not technically, right there with that, and I don't hear stuff like that. But if you wanted to get large intervals, and that's your goal, use those notes and get large intervals. You know, you watch this back and you hit minute 12, like you're gonna see me look like a moron playing large intervals that I can't do yet. So, but it's part of the exploration. It's part of the fun. I mean, and don't judge your last lick that you played, and don't judge the last thing you made up. Just use it as a process to get things into your ear, to get things into your playing, and try not to judge it. Try not to be self-critical. Just know that it's a part of the process. It's your exploration, and you're going to end up getting ideas when you're off the horn that you're like, wow, like I totally got this idea. So next time I practice, I'm gonna implement it, and it might end up really, really affecting your playing, and really change your outlook on certain concepts and how you understand things. So give yourself time to digest this stuff, and stick with it for a bit, and you'll notice that it becomes easier each time, and the creativity will start just blossoming. So, um, that's it. That's it for this week. So that concept, I'll show this one more time. So we're accessing the flat 9 and the flat 13 very simply by going a half step up from the dominant chord on a 5, or any dominant chord for that matter, if you want to access those colors. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support as always. And like I said, the 25 Tuesday book is available. It is free. It is a donation based book, I should say. So if you want to donate, that's awesome. If you can't donate, then it's yours for free. Just enjoy it, and maybe play some licks for me, and tag me or whatever. So, um, have an awesome week. I'll see you next week. Always positive, always progressing. Later.